Right then. Hello.
Right then. I was going to try and chirp in better. You just didn't stop, did you?
No, I
right then,
didn't.
right then. Hello,
excited.
hello. She's so excited.
I love our lives. And we've had some already this week. It's been such a fab week. We had our Zoom calls on Sunday, didn't we, with our patrons. We had our members live last night. So great to see so many of you back again. So thank you so much for joining us. It's just been fab, hasn't it?
I just said to Carole, it's like working on this morning, which I don't know if that's a good example now this morning, because apparently
No, it's not,
very, very
Paulie.
unpopular. It's like working on Good Morning Britain. This is the 5th time I've been in front of this computer in the last 4 days doing some sort of live broadcast, interview, Zoom call, members live, non-members live.
Anyway, we're back.
We're back.
So yeah, we're
from outer space.
So lovely to see everyone in the comments already. And Barbara's back too. Now Barbara lives in Melbourne. So and Barbara said, "Hi, aren't we lucky you've got 2 lives this week?" So but awake again at 3:40 in the morning. So thanks so much, Barbara, for making the effort to come and see us. So that's really appreciate that.
So anybody, now obviously if they turn up late, they won't know I've said this, but anybody who turns up late ought to be ashamed of themselves, because Barbara got up at 20 to 4 in the morning. So if you're not on here by now, you won't know that I'm giving you grief because you're not here.
No, but they
so
might
you should
watch
be
on
ashamed
replay.
of yourself. If you're watching on replay, it's acceptable. But if you're watching it live and you turn up, at 20 past 7,
it doesn't matter.
I'm going to tell you.
As long as people just pop in and say hello for 10 minutes, that's lovely.
From now on, you've got to WhatsApp me a note if you're going to be late.
Anyway, let's see who else is here. So Rose is here again. So love to see you, Rose. Still not had any rain in London. Oh, you're lucky. It's been chucking it down here today, hasn't it? It's been really wet. Barbara's just remind everyone, if you've got a question for us, please do put a question in front, which is very important because otherwise we miss it in the comments below.
Barbara is officially running the live stream tonight, and I think she can cope with it. She's all over it, I'll tell you.
So Kevin and Sean must be busy somewhere, so that's cool. Barbara said it's springtime in Melbourne, having pretty good weather at the moment, and the temps are getting a bit warmer. Good, because you've. I know when we spoke to Sandra, she said it's been fairly cold, isn't it?
Yeah, but fairly cold. When an Australian person says to you it's fairly cold, it's not like a Canadian.
There are places in Australia that get really cold.
4 seasons in one day.
No. Oh.
Do you know? The irony of that is when you have like a moment of clarity, and there was a song that was called 4 Seasons in One Day, and it was by a band called Crowded House. Where are Crowded House from?
Australia.
Well,
there you go.
I wonder if they were singing about Melbourne.
Melbourne, yes. Kevin B's here as well from sunny Long Island. Lovely to see you here, Kevin.
Yo, Kevin.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, it was lovely to see Kevin. And Manda's asking, Phil and I are on Morel Explorer mid-December. Have you ever done a pre-Christmas cruise, and does anyone dress up, as in Santa hats and tinsel? Don't want to look a numpty. Take your hats and take your tinsel, because pre-Christmas cruises, we've done one on Queen Elizabeth. We did 2 weeks. It was early December, actually, wasn't it? And it was really festive. And some people were dressing up with their hats on and stuff. So
27 Christmas trees or something ridiculous, wasn't there?
35.
Oh, 35.
There was 35 Christmas trees on Queen Elizabeth.
I undersold it.
Cunard know how to dress a ship.
Do, yeah. And
it's fantastic.
What I would recommend, Mandy, is take all your stuff, all your glossaries.
Glossaries?
Yeah, when you look all glossy and lovely, and you tinsel in your hats. And then before you go out, have a quick look out the door, or just a quick, over, into the atrium or whatever. And if nobody's dressed up, don't put your hat on.
No, or put it in your bag, and then you can just get it out.
Just be a trendsetter. Just come
do it. Because if one person does it, others will follow.
Yeah.
So
somebody say, "See, look, that woman over there's got her hat on, and she got tinsel as a tie. I'm going back to the cabin." And they'll all be at it.
Yes, but yeah, lots from late November onwards, aren't they? The ships can be really festive. So I'm sure you'll have a fab time. Well, it's not Morella Explorer too.
Well, it's not a festive thing, but my son and his girlfriend came on a Halloween cruise with us.
Yes.
And about a week before we were going, Tess, her name is, she's lovely, by the way.
She is.
Tess messaged us, are you taking Halloween costumes? And we're like,
No.
Tess loves she loves Halloween, she loves Christmas. She's really into like the holiday type things.
She is.
And we're like, but it hasn't even crossed our mind, to be honest.
No, it didn't.
And she was like, oh, I just assumed everybody would be dressed up. But to be fair, there wasn't many people dressed up.
There wasn't. And there wasn't much. That was a princess ship, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And there wasn't much. There was a few pumpkins in a display, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be a little bit more. But I think the Americans know how to do Halloween, don't they? So I think if you love Halloween, then you need to go on a ship from America, because I think it would be bonkers, because we're not so big. We do a bit here, don't we? But we're not so big on it as they are in the States. So Claire's just popping in. So thank you for popping in. I can't stop with them. That's fine, because we've had lots of chats with you this week.
Unless you've already gone, of course, because this was 10 minutes ago.
Yes, Antonia's here from sunny Los Angeles. Ooh, lovely. LA. And Haley Brothers are here. So lovely to see you guys. It is a bit cooler this evening. It is, thank God. It's been so hot in the UK, well, in our area, and I think it looks like the majority of the UK. So
now I've got a question for Haley, because she was asking me if I'd tried Brothers cider. And I didn't even link the two things together, that Haley's name's Brothers, and she's asking me if I like Brothers cider. Are you the heir to the Brothers cider fortune?
Well, let us know.
Or is it just a coincidence?
Exactly. And Patrick and Francis are here. So it's beginning to feel like Groundhog Day. It is. Yeah. So Haley's just saying your Asia cruise booked today. Yes, today we have booked the most fantastic itinerary that we've just told our patrons and members about, to go to Asia in 2025. It's absolutely probably one of the best itineraries we've seen, isn't it?
Are you gonna pick me up now?
Paul found it.
I found it.
He did find it.
Yes.
When when you're looking for cruises, if you're obviously lots of people that are in the comments I can see are avid cruisers. We look at cruises all the time, and we'll be sat there talking about cruises, and we'll be like, oh, there's this one there. Oh yeah, that looks all right. There's this one there. Oh, that looks all right. And then Paul said, oh, look at this. And as soon as you started reading out, you feel that excitement. Well, I do. And you go a little bit goosebumpy. And I thought, oh my God, that just sounds perfect. It goes to 5 different countries, doesn't it? 5. But we'll be reading more about that nearer the time. But if you want to know more about our future cruises and what we've got booked, then join our Patreon and YouTube members, because they're the first to know everything. Everything. So Ken's just made it in time. Love to see you, Ken.
Ken, I have a question for you as well. I did send you a message.
Is this questions from us to...
This questions to everybody out there tonight. I sent you an Instagram message, and I sent a photo of the address for this weekend's autographs meeting. Did you actually get that? Because I can't tell whether it went or not. I'm a bit of a, I don't know,
divvy when it comes to tech.
I don't know how stuff works. And what I'll probably do as well is I'll send you my phone number, which is going to help, I think, as well.
Yes, that would help.
Yes.
So Andy and Carla here, even from an autumnal Lancashire. Start by giving the video thumbs up, as we forgot last time. Soz. Question coming up. Yeah, please do give us a thumb up.
A thumb up.
A thumb up.
Thumbs up. It is only one thumb.
So it's not
give us a thumb up.
A thumb up.
And I don't want your excuses. Oh, I'm on the telly, I can't do it. Somebody told us how to do it. Something about press an arrow, do this,
yes,
do that.
There's 178 people watching, so we want to see
if we
178
if we haven't got 178 thumbs up by the end of this live, I know where all of you live. Just remember that.
Corinne said she's accepting an offer on my house today. Excellent, because Corinne's been going through a difficult time with property, so that's great to hear. And Morris is asking, hi everyone, where do you get the best pasty? Philps near Hale, I reckon. That's probably one of the best pasties we've ever had.
It's one of the best pastas, and it's one of the biggest pastas.
Yeah. And we had a really polite seagull just sit and watch us eat it. Didn't beg or anything. And he deserved some in the end, didn't he? He didn't try and attack us. He just sat there and watched us all eat it all.
Sometimes, and I know obviously because Barbara's in Australia, when we first got to Australia, we went on a bus tour. And I can't remember what beach we went to, but we had a good scoot round, and then we stopped at this beach and we got that fantastic ice cream. And our bus tour guide man, who I can't remember what his name was, he was a lovely guy. And he said, yeah,
that was Kangaroo Island.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyway, so he said, you've got to be careful of the seagulls out here, man, because they can be really cheeky. Sometimes you could walk away from your table and they'll jump on the table and take your food off the plate. And I'm thinking, like, mate, you don't even know what seagulls are then. And when we saw the seagulls, we thought they were pigeons because they were that small.
They were small.
Our seagulls have got the wingspan of an eagle in Gloucester, and they will literally come up to you, they'll grab you around the throat with one wing and just take the chips off you with the other, while giving you a hard stare as if to say, what are you going to do about it?
There was a well-known story, wasn't there? A guy in the car park, for some reason, the seagulls just didn't like him when the car park, and would just dive bomb him every day. But they're huge.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, they don't take no prisoners. I don't know. So that's why we were so impressed that this seagull was so polite and just stood there like a good little boy while we had our giant size pasty. That was about,
well, you had the giant size. I just had large. You had extra large.
When we were in the queue, Carole said, I can't decide if I'm going to have the massive pasty or not, or I might have a smaller one. And a bloke in the queue turned around and said, I think you'll find there's only one size of pasty, giant size.
It was delicious. We had some good pasties in Foy, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
But I think the Philp, and I know if Brits on a Ship are in here, I know that they love them too. Because it was them, that was Sandra, Chris, that got us onto it. If you're going to Cornwall, make sure you go to Philp's. It's fee. It's
fee-fi faux fun.
Philps. Philps.
So it's nearly Phillips. And what makes it even worse as well, which we have managed to not succumb to it, is they will post a box out to you.
Yes.
So if you want some, you can order them online and they will post a box of pastas out to you for you to cook at home.
Yeah, no, I think that's what Sandra does. I'm sure if they do pop in, then they'll let us know. So let's go to the next question. Andy and Carla's asking, on our forthcoming cruise, we're going to Gexo for Bilbao. Is Gexo worth a look around, or is it a bit like Le Havre? Are we better off paying for the shuttle into Bilbao? Sorry, Andy and Carla, we don't know. We've not been there. So if anyone that's in the comments can let us know that, then please do. And let us know how you pronounce Gexo. Gexo.
Well, it doesn't matter how it's pronounced. No. You'll never get it right in a million years, will you? Ken's booked a cruise
booked a cruise as well today.
Tell us more.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I bet you've been chatting to Dan too then.
I'm amazed that you managed to get a moment of his time, because I think Carole's been talking to him all day.
We have been chatting a lot today.
My phone's been pinging and ponging with messages, because we've got our own little WhatsApp group, and I left my phone unattended. I was off today trying to straighten my race car out ready for the weekend, and I took my phone out of my pocket and put it on the bench in the workshop. And when I came back, Al, who's my nephew, he's got his uncle pops down sometimes to make us a cup of tea. He said, your phone's been making all sorts of noises. And then it went bing. And I said, is it that noise? He said, yeah. I said, well, every time that makes that ping noise, it's cost me more money. and sure enough.
So yes, but if you've got any questions for us, then please pop them in the comments. It's lovely. I'm just looking at everyone saying congratulations to Corinne, so that's really nice. Tina's popped in as well, so lovely to see Tina. And people asking Ken what he's got booked. Paul's here from Wolverhampton, from Pacific View. Can you see the Pacific from Wolverhampton?
Depends how high his house is.
Well, I suppose it's a long way from the coast,
and
isn't it?
How strong his binoculars are.
But yes, so many people in the chat. So hi everyone. So let's have a look to see what the next question is. Lizzie Lou's here, so lovely to see you. And hello, Lizzie Lou. Lots of people have been booking Virgin, and I think travels with Lizzie Lou has, because their itineraries have come out. We would have booked it. I said to Paul, let's try another 3 to 4 night cruise. However, it falls just before we're going to America for Gary's group cruise, so it's just fallen at the wrong time, hasn't it?
It's fallen right over my 60th birthday.
It has.
So I want to do something I want to do.
Yes, which isn't a Virgin cruise,
which is going racing.
Yes, Paulie said he wants to go racing. That's fine.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't fall on my birthday. So you're all right. We'll go somewhere nice, honey.
You're going to surprise me?
Yeah.
No. Tina said, have you had a haircut, Paulie Morgan?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I haven't put any product on it though. I've literally, because I was been covered in mud and all sorts today, because my car was still covered in mud from the last time I raced it, and I'm very well. I'm not now. I'm all shiny and clean, but I was very sweaty and muddy and dirty. So I had my hair cut. I managed to get,
he's had things put in his ears and everything.
Multitasker. So I've been working on a race car. I took a friend's car for an MOT. And in between it being MOT'd, I went out of my haircut in Worcester, which is about 35 miles away from me, but it worked out because that's where the MOT station I use is. And it's the second time I've used them. And they're all into they do a lot with cutthroat razors and stuff and doing all this. And I thought, well, I got used to that because the barber I use in Gloucester does a lot of stuff with the cutthroat razor. And then all of a sudden, which I'd never experienced before, he pulled this, what I can only describe as a skewer, out of this jar, and it had a wad on the end of it. It was like glue on it. Like when every film you've seen where they walk through a cave and they got a stick and they wrap something around the end of it, and it always lights. That piece of rag they've got always lights on it and lasts for about 4 days when they're walking around.
Yes,
it looked like a little tiny version of that. So it looks almost like cotton wool on a skewer. Yeah. So, and this obviously...
So like jar... a cotton bud?
No. Okay. No, it's
more of a big
head.
About
this big at the end of it. They're that big.
Okay.
And it's like cotton wool rather than a cotton bud. And it obviously got some sort of alcohol-y type stuff on it. And he lights it. And I'm thinking, what the bloody hell is he going to do with that? And then he comes up to the side of you and he puts his hand like that so as it don't go on your face. And then he's got this thing and he's going... And he's going like that by your ear. And you can feel the heat, and he keeps flicking it like that, and then you can feel the warmth, and then you can smell hair burning. But you always assured me I didn't have any hair in my ears.
Well, you haven't got to, sometimes when people get really old, all of a sudden you wake up in the morning, there's 2 sprays
can I just
hair.
stop there? Sometimes when people get really old, that's a bit hurtful, isn't it?
Well, you know what it's like, isn't it?
So I've had my haircut.
I know from my nursing days, I would often be helping people trim their ears.
So I've had my haircut, I've had my ears burnt.
And you had your eyebrows done.
I had my eyebrows done, yeah.
So he's looking rather dandy, aren't you?
Well, what can I say?
Mike says, good afternoon from Atlanta. So lovely to see you here too. Jerry's going on Morello Explorer next month, and thanks for your Morello vlogs. No problem, Jerry. Have a fun. So I'm sure you'll have
you will. Yes.
Fabulous. Yes. If you don't know, if you're new to our lives, we've got a whole series all about the brand new Morella Voyager, which is brand new ship for Morella. We had a fabulous time on board.
We did.
It was a great week. So make sure you check that out. So lots of people here, and Victoria saying hello from the Wirral. You here for you both? Yes, I've had some colours put in just to get rid of my grey. So
and I haven't had any colours put in.
No,
but Anna said that. How did Francis describe his strawberry blonde? Didn't he?
Your hair?
No, his hair. And his hair looked the same colour as mine on the Zoom call. So maybe I'm strawberry blonde.
And Warren's saying it's finally made a live stream. Love to see you here, Warren. It's cooler today. It's 92. Oh my gosh. I don't see. We don't have aircon. If we had aircon, it would be fine. But the last week's been really tough. Not tough. That sounds like woe is us. But it's been really hot and sweaty. So Manny saying loving the shirts. Yes, merch. We've got. We've had our t-shirts have arrived, which we're really, really happy with, aren't we?
Yeah.
You can see Paulie has got his t-shirts.
Carole was trying to. She was obviously talking about Patreon earlier, and we've had some Zoom calls with our Patreons. So they got to see him first. But it was quite disconcerting because Carole's only, she's a little bit shorter than me, I'm going to say, to be polite. And then so she's going like this, and she's trying to show people the badge, and all it looks like she's doing is just trying to show them her boobs, really. So I said, mate, I'll just show mine. So it's there, look. So it's just a little, we've gone for subtlety on the front.
Yes.
And then on the back, we're going not quite so subtlety.
Right then.
Right there.
So that's on the back. And as you can see, Paul's modelling a round neck just tee and round neck t-shirt, which will be available in different colours. The ladies' t-shirts, as you can see, I've got a V-neck with obviously, I've got the wrong side now. I can't point at the. Oh yes, point at the logo there, and I've got the same thing on the back. So as a lady, I hate having round necks. I hate things around my neck. So for the lady, got a V-neck. And also we've got a sample of a sweatshirt that I wanted to have. I don't want a sweatshirt or a hoodie that I could take over my head because it messes up my hair and does my head in. So I wanted a jacket type hoodie, which Paul will just come into shot now. Is that your model walk? Woo! So you've got, as you can see, you've got your 2 pockets at the front, and you've got a zip. And
where's the badge, Annie? Where is it? Where is it?
It's there. And you obviously got right then on the back. So we're really chuffed to bits that some of our merch is coming together. We're wearing them at the moment. We want to wash them and make sure that they're really good quality, and they should be available hopefully in the near future. Are you going to sit back down, Paul? Oh yes, we've got a cup as well. It's under there, under the yellow. Yes. So we've got some cups as well, which we're really, really happy with. So we've got a logo on the front, and on the back we've got, guess what? Right Man. Yes. So so there you are. So that's our merch. Like I said, Patreon and YouTube members have seen them first, but we're really excited because it's been a long thing in the making, because we just want it exactly how we want it. And obviously if you want to buy any of those in the future, then we will have that all available at some point. Anyway, let's get back to the questions.
The good news is they're only £75 for a
No, we haven't worked out the pricing yet, but we're going to do them as cheap as we possibly can. So Michael Moran is saying, hello. Did you mention the fact there were no port days during your QM2TA cruise, or had you been bored feeling during that 7 days? Can't wait to see your videos from that adventure. We didn't get bored at all. We thoroughly enjoyed our 7 days at sea, didn't we? It was absolutely fabulous. We were totally in the chilled zone, weren't we? I'm
sure you called him Michael Moran, by the way.
It was Maron. That's because my uncle's Maron. Sorry, Michael. But yes, but we actually loved it. And like I say, vlog series, we've got Melbourne coming out this week. Then we've got into our Titan Canada and Alaska tour vlogs coming out. And then QM2 Transatlantic will be next. So Claire's saying you're looking good, Paulie.
Wow, you're obviously a very good judge, Claire.
And Tony saying
there's nothing wrong with your eyesight.
Good to see you on a Tuesday. We're in a dilemma whether to do Tuesdays or Thursdays, because a lot of people, we put all the polls out over social media, and it seems that most people don't really mind. So obviously we will I think keep it fluid.
Luckily.
So and see how we go.
Luckily, when Carole put the options, she put Tuesday, Thursday, or don't mind. She wasn't brave enough to put don't care. Because I think that would have gone.
No, I'm sure a lot of people would have said that they don't, but that's fine. Lots of people here do, and that's the main thing. These are the important guys. Williams, hello from Thailand. Oh, we're getting there in February, March time, aren't we? So we're very excited about that. So Ken saying, see you Saturday. So Paulie Morgan. And Victoria's asking, we're off on Iona for a few weeks. Any tips for the ship? Yes. Iona is a fabulous ship. We've had a great time on her. Make sure you go to the shows. We found that P&O as entertainment is excellent. So make sure you go to the theatre shows. We weren't so keen on the shows in the 360 Dome. It's called it's not the 360. Because the sound, we don't think the sound is so good in there.
We saw a fair few shows in the whatever the dome's called, and I can't remember.
Sky Dome.
There's 2 aerial shows, one of which we thought was rubbish, which was that one with the bloody bird pecking a giant egg.
Yeah, there was a few bizarre shows.
And there was one called Tribou, which was basically 2 tribes go to war. A point is all that you can score. You'll know that, Claire, straight away. Well, I said it in the title, didn't I, really? 2 times.
Yeah, certainly.
No answer. Anyway. But anyway. And that was fabulous. But the one with like a big bird that was pecking an egg and all, I wasn't so keen on. And the problem with the dome, like Carole said, is the sound in there can be very, very hit and miss. And it's very unfair on the people that perform in there if they're musical artists. For all the high wiry type people, it doesn't make any difference because the show is like a visual. But you could watch a band in there and you could think, oh my God. Well, one of the examples, we saw a band in the lounge right at the back, which I can never remember what anything's called. But there's a lounge right at the back, which is an entertainment lounge, and it's a
great lounge,
fabulous area. And we saw a band in there, and we thought, fair play, they're good. And then the next night they were in the Sky Dome, and we went into the Sky Dome, and we were like, fair play, they're awful. And after about 20 minutes, there was a lot of beckoning and chewing and throwing, and sound men turning up with iPads and doing this and doing that, trying to sort the sound out, because the acoustics in there, because of the shape of the place, it's virtually impossible to get the acoustics right. And our cruises on Iona were 12 months apart, and in the 12 months, they still didn't seem.
They seem to have issues there.
Yeah.
But the Acrobat shows, that was really good. I think get yourself to the Keys. We love the Keys. If you do want to spend any money on food, then the Keel and Cow we thought was spectacular. If you do want to do things and you want to go to the Limelight Lounge, make sure you book that early because it gets sold out. They have different famous acts in there, so make sure you book that. But Iona's a lovely ship, lots of outside space, so just go with an open mind and enjoy it.
They have good like Carole said, they have good theatre shows, and they also have good guest entertainers.
They do.
So that's keep your eye out
on. Just get the programme.
And my top tip is, when we were on there, both times the app was rubbish, and when you tried to book something, it would say it's fully booked. Always go to that place and check.
Yes,
we booked the kit. Well, I know we've gone over this before, but I'll tell you again. We booked the key. We tried to book the Keel and Cow when we were on there for a lunch, and it said, "Oh, there's 35 people waiting."
Yeah.
So we went straight to the Keel and Cow. Maitre d' come up, and we're looking around, and all there is like about 4 people in there, and Maitre d's like, can I help? Yeah, can we come in for a bit of lunch, mate? Yeah, of course you can. I said, well, on the app it says there's 35 people waiting, which means the place is completely full and there's 35 people waiting. And he just looked at me and shook his head and said,
yeah, so just make sure you go and speak to a human. The app works for lots of things, doesn't it? It's not a bad app, but just go and check yourself. So, but you'll have a great time. We did. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
We had a great time.
Yeah. JCR's asking a question. Do you think the merch will bring in more than YouTube ad revenue? Well, if it does, because we're doing really quite well with our ad revenue on YouTube, then we'll be over the moon. But I doubt it. No. I don't think our merch. I think we may go into doing sort of more cruising type T-shirts, and that might. But I don't know how many people will want to walk around with Paul.
I don't know whether he's just basing it on me doing a twirl and everything. Maybe.
Well, maybe. Maybe. Alfie Garnett's here, so I'll be with you until kickoff. Of course, football tonight, isn't it?
Yes,
football tonight. And Claire's just said, Victoria, just enjoy it. Make sure to visit the Keys. Great food. Exactly that. And Kevin's saying, yo.
yo. No, I don't know whether it was. Who was asked? There was somebody asking last up. I haven't seen their name come up today about vegetarian food, and I was going to say, ask that question again tomorrow when Alf is in the house.
Yes,
because I know that Jackie. Some fabulous vegetarian food. So if you are on Princess watching, ask that question again, and then we can ask Alfie, and he'll point you in the right direction.
Exactly that. Yeah. So let's have a look to see if we can. Greetings from Morton on the Mars. So love to see Andy and Christine here, even from a damp Norfolk. Yeah, starting to get saw less water when we were in Venice last week. I know it's been pouring today, isn't it? And Barbara said, if you enjoy Paul and Carole, hit that like button. Yeah, 227 people watching now.
Come on, you tell them, Barbara.
On, give us a thumbs.
Yeah, get them thumbs out. Make them thumbs do the work, yes.
And Patrice is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Lovely to see you here. Yes, Davcat Travel, Sarah was on the same Halloween of us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there were a few folks dressed, but not many of them dressed up for that Halloween trip. They didn't, did they? I thought it was going to be a lot more sort of festive.
Of course, we met, when we very first met, was when I was waiting for 2.5 hours for my burger, and when it turned up, it was cold. And we went to a quiz, and we were sat next to him at the quiz.
That's right. Yeah, no. We've met a few times now, haven't we?
And as I recall, you were very, very smarty pants at the quiz.
She's very smart. Yeah. Very, very smart.
Give Google Claire a run, I reckon.
Janet's just saying, hello from Wet Pershore. We just returned for a week on the Anthem of the Seas. We had a virtual balcony, which was excellent. Kept thinking we could walk outside. It was so good. Do you know, I'd love to try one of those balconies. I think might find it frustrating, though, that I couldn't get outside. So it's interesting to say that you actually enjoyed it. So do you know what they are?
I'm assuming it's a television screen that looks like you're looking out of the window.
Yeah.
So,
you'd like that because you love the telly.
Yeah, but not if What do you watch today then? Outside. Just watch you outside for 4 hours.
So, Life in the Parks. Hello, Paul and Carole. Chilling out watching you after our Norwegian Epic Rugby World Cup trip in Marseille. So they're on Norwegian Epic, and we were just saying about the merchandise that we're really, really chuffed to bits with it. So that's if you can let Nicola know, that'd be grand. So we're going to get in touch with you when you get back. So that'd be fabulous. And Haley's brother asking, cruising end of the month on Virtuoso, have had a few emails about upgrades. Bit nervous as where he would plonk someone worse on the ship. What's your cabin upgrade experience? We've not had one. We've never. We're getting very picky with our cabins as the more that we cruise, because we like a certain spot on a ship, and so we tend to tick the we don't want an upgrade box, because once we've picked it and we've paid for it and we know it's the position that we want. However, if you're in a guaranteed balcony or whatever category of cabin it is and you don't mind, then I'd say go for it, because we used to, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we come lucky a few times, but be aware that you may well be plonked somewhere that is not you might be right at the front or right at the back, but
Because
it's a gamble.
It is a gamble. So I mean, the main thing to bear in mind is most cruise lines, if not all cruise lines, Carole, correct me if I'm wrong, which I usually am, and she usually does correct me, say the cabin grades are A, B, C. Well, if you're in A and they're going to upgrade you to B, but you haven't paid for your one in A, the one they're going to put you in B will technically be an upgrade, but it might be the worst grade B, because obviously anybody who's paid for grade B would have picked the best ones. So you might have gone from a sort of okay-ish one that's an A to a very average one that's a B. So it is a big...
It normally follows the alphabet in the different categories.
But if you haven't paid to choose your cabin in the first place, you don't know what cabin you're going to get anyway.
Interestingly, when we were on Cunard, and I'd never heard of this, and Philippa, I haven't seen Philippa in the chat yet, but we were talking about it because someone went to book a cruise and they said that, well, I'm going to book a guarantee because we're going to book an outside. Now, and outside, the letter in the alphabet was, I can't remember whether it was, say for example, it was J. Now, for the upgrade, the next category was I, but the I cabin was actually an inside cabin. And the lady said on the cruise said, if you go for that, you could go from an outside to an inside. And I thought, oh my God, I've never heard of that. So really check the company that you're with, what their alphabetical, what does that actually mean? What does that upgrade, if you do get an upgrade, is it a better cabin? Is it a better category? And where could you end up?
Because it could be a better category.
It could be.
Because that cabin could be half as big again as the one you got, but it's inside. So when we had that conversation,
exactly, and that's the first I'd heard of that on Cunard.
Oh, it's a lottery, isn't it?
It is,
but
so
I don't know. So the answer to your question is,
but they're saying they wish they inherited the name, but they just love the cider.
Oh, okay.
So Claire's here. Good morning from a cake west coast of BC.
I think that's a rainy. That's a cloud, honey, with rain coming out.
Cake.
Good morning from a cake.
West Coast of Canada. We have 80 kilometres away up in an Armagh, so this is good news. So I guess you mean the fires are moving away, because they're still going, aren't they, in Canada, which is really, really mad.
And I think it's time that Carole upgraded
my glasses. I know. Ken said he hasn't really received a message, so I don't know what you've done there then, Paulie. Kevin's asking, what's a pasty?
Oh, come on, Kevin.
Kevin, it's like an old-fashioned...
It's like a cannoli. No, it's not. It's nothing like that.
A pasty is a pastry that's got a real ridge around the edge, and it's like folded over, and it's filled with, normally classic pasties filled with steak and potato and veg. And what it used to be is the workers down the mines, wasn't it? They would take it and they would be able to hold on to it and eat it when their hands were dirty. And that's what that crust's about, isn't it? Because they used to be able to hold it and eat and it looks like this. Yeah, see the thick crust? That's it.
And if you see the thick crust around the outside,
I
don't know what you just said then, but when there's a lot of tin mines in Cornwall, which is like a history lesson there. There's a lot of tin mines in Cornwall, and the reason that the pasty has got that thick pastry,
I said that,
is for them to hold
yes,
onto it
with dirty hands.
with their dirty hands.
Exactly.
And then my dad was telling me, because my dad in his youth used to work in a coal mine, and there's
in the Forest of Dean.
In the Forest of Dean, and there's a song about that as well. Working in a coal mine, going down, and they used to make pasty type things like that with the big crust round. But what some wives would do who make these pasties is they'd have a big pasty and it'd be savoury the one side, so it might be meat and potato, and on the other side it'd be apple.
Yeah.
So
you have your whole meal.
So you had to make sure you ate it the right way round. So I don't know whether they put some sort of marking on it, but so you'd eat your savoury and then you'd eat your sweet.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a
fab idea.
Cool idea
yeah.
that is. I might market that because that was a long time ago. I think I could get away with that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
You're going to cook them?
Yeah.
You made some good pastry, actually. When my dad was really poorly and I was away near Chepstow looking after him before he died, Paul would deliver with some pasties, wouldn't you, or sausage rolls. My dad loved a pasty. That's making me remember lovely times. Nice. Well, sad times.
Nice to make them with my
You did, and you'd bring down, and we would be surprised at what flavour it was. Anyway, back to our questions. You said on your last slide that your visit to Petrol was one of the hottest places you've been. What month did you visit? Would love to go. We were on a repositioning cruise from Naples to Dubai, and it was October.
Do you know, I was going to say October.
Yeah, so it was October. So I think that part of the world is just hot.
Just hot all the
time. So and Life in the Park say nice t-shirts. Yes. Yeah. So let's have a look. Kelly in Canada says, hello, I live near the Cruising Canucks. They're on a Caribbean cruise at the moment with MSC. Love your show. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate that. Clinton's here. Lovely to see you, Clinton. You're at home, so that's nice. You're not away in your lorry. I'm still looking for the video of Paul with his 360 camera being blown down the walkway on QM2 laughing out. Watching live at home in Saskatchewan, Canada. I love that word, Saskatchewan. Isn't it? Saskatchewan.
That's where.
What's your favourite word? Let us know in the comments, because I love there's certain words, isn't there? Like moist. Saskatchewan.
It was the first ever person that bigged us up in Saskatchewan.
Yes, that's Gloria. If you're watching Gloria's been following us right from the start. She's our #1 fan. So Jack's here saying, love your t-shirts. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. Oh, Nat's here, Natalie Green. One of my work colleagues this week said she'd been watching your videos and booked a cruise. That's brilliant. So thanks for letting us know, Nat, because that's, the reason why we do our videos, isn't it? To say, look, the world of cruise is amazing. It doesn't suit everyone, but this is what it's like. This is what it's really like, and it may suit you, to try it. And we find that most people that do try it want to do more. So that's
anybody
good.
Who is coming on our group cruise, you'll be meeting Natalie because she's coming too.
She is. Yeah. Natalie's our niece. She's lovely. Yeah, and Ian's just saying a proper pasty was meat in one half and fruit in the other, exactly as you said.
Oh.
So, and Tony's saying in Scotland they have brides, I think you call that, don't they? Rather than pasty. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. A ning-a-nang-a-nang.
Can you
remember Evelyn used to say?
Yeah.
Can I have a bridie with a ning-a-nang-a-nang? And we're like, a what? And apparently it means something.
Onion.
Something an onion. If Sean was on here, he'd be able to tell us, but he's not on tonight. But yeah. Yeah, it's like it is a very, very similar thing, I believe.
Yeah, that's friends in Edinburgh. We had such a laugh, didn't we? So John's saying, hello, you two, liking this early week slot, loving the banter, hoping for some inspiration for next year, possibly the fjords. Best wishes from Sue and John. Thumbs up from sunny Plymouth. Lovely. So thank you. So like I say, 234 people watching now, so make sure you give us
how many thumbs up we got now?
Well, I don't know, because we're doing it through StreamYard, so I won't see until afterwards. So Ken's saying about Gloucester a few months ago, there's a very interesting UNESCO bridge that has a gondola hanging below that you can cross by buying tickets in advance. It's quite a pretty place. I'm never getting in a gondola ever again after Banff. No way. But
after Banff, and then after that one in India,
oh my god,
where they had to be rescued by helicopters. As soon as that came on the news, Carol was like, Sheila, I told you they weren't safe. You wouldn't listen to me.
But if you want to go on a gondola, Ken gives a good tip there.
One that's only about 20 foot above water might be one of the safest ones because it hasn't got far to drop then, has it?
Well, on water, you've got a better chance than on rocks.
I haven't convinced you, have I?
No, I'm never doing one ever again. Never. So Lisa Ray remains here. So lovely to see you. Leaving out of Lisbon for a cruise in June. Plan on coming a few days at any Lisbon wrecks. Lisbon's easy to navigate by foot. When we were there, you probably don't remember it, do you? Paul doesn't remember stuff.
I don't know. I did yesterday, to be honest.
We just walked, and we ended up going to a lovely little bar. But there's lovely. I can't think of the actual places in Lisbon, but where the.
If you showed me the bar, I'd remember. What
I
bar
can't
was
remember
it?
what it's called.
Oh,
So, and that's where they do those lovely custard things, isn't it? What they call the
custard tarts.
No, they're not called custard tarts, are they? Tell us in the comments.
They're called Portuguese custard tarts.
Well, they are like that.
Yes, they are.
Oh, Gillian's here. I was chatting to Gillian earlier. I both thought we'd tune in after watching some videos on Saga Spirit Adventure. Thank you for your reply earlier. No problem. You'll have an amazing time on Saga Spirit Adventure. It's been causing quite a stir because it turned up in Foy when we were away in Cornwall last week. And the locals were really happy about it. And it just shows that the media were making something out of nothing, really, as they do. But the local businesses and people that we talked to in Foy were thinking, this is great because it brings in business for them.
So this could be the first time ever that the media might have lied about something to get a news story.
Exactly that. And I found out today, because I've been with the girls today. I've been the ladies that lunched today with my girlfriends. We've been to a garden centre, and I found out the lady that was in the Galleon Inn where we stayed in Foy. If you just our last two videos have been about the hotels in Foy and Cornwall, so do check them out. The girl that did the breakfast, the lovely girl Sarah, she was actually the one supporting it on Ken Bruce show on radio. He's not on radio. Is he still on radio too?
No, he's on Greatest Hits Radio.
Yes. So he was doing the debate about not Ken Bruce.
Jeremy Vine.
Jeremy Vine.
Egypt.
Yes. So
I'm so disgusted with
you're off. You're off.
Good night.
Dave is here. So let's see. Hello, and it's busy being a fanboy. All these chats. Jamie last night. Yeah, we joined in with Jamie's after our Patreon live, and that was great. And with you all this evening. Kvesh should be packing for our cruise starting this Sunday. Oh, exciting! It's always good, isn't it, when your cruise coming up? It's very, very exciting. Ken saying, you know that ear thing, Paulie, is dipped in mess and flicked in the ear to burn the hairs. I've had it a few times in the Turkish barber in Bridgewater. Yeah. Well, there you go, isn't it?
Well, that's how I describe that. You're talking like that was like news to you.
Patrick and Francis, I had the flaming cotton bud of death in the past when I used to have my haircut. Bud of death.
The flaming bud of death.
Chris was just asking about the merch. Yes, we've just been. Paul was doing a little bit of a modelling session earlier. So after you've watched this, do rewind. Lots of people are saying about the ear thing.
I told you.
Yes, in Cheltenham. Turkish barber in Cheltenham. Emma's here. Lovely to see Emma. We've got 3 cruises booked now. First a 4-nighter in December on Arcadia, second on the Jewel, and Sky Princess with you guys. Looking forward to it. Oh, lovely to see you, Emma. Say hi to Scott. Great to see you here. And Kate and Dave's cruise is 4 days away. So, cruise. Do you travel by itinerary ship? We've had too much to see to be driven by the ship. Do you know? Mostly now our cruises are itinerary driven, which is exactly what we said about our Asia cruise that we booked for 2025. That's totally itinerary driven, isn't it? We've seen that itinerary, thought, got to do it. So yes. So the more you cruise, I think the more important it gets. There are certain times where we do pick a ship. For example, Marella Voyager. We're big fans of Marella, and we wanted to be on their maiden voyage of the Voyager. And we're big fans of Cunard, and we want to be on Queen Anne. So that's an exception to the rule. But actually, we're now, because we've been to lots of places, it is very much itinerary driven, wouldn't you say, Paulie?
Because we've done, what's it called, Northern Europe, Rotterdam, Hamburg, those. I mean, I feel like I could live in them.
I think those places are good to go when you've got a group and friends and stuff, because it's not so much about the itinerary, it's just about being with friends and enjoying.
And if you can get a good deal.
Yeah, which you can.
You know, there's still places.
So everyone's saying about the T-shirts. Love the V-neck is great.
They don't like mine.
I love V-necks. Yes, see, ladies, we do, don't we? We don't want to be like strangled, and I think they're a little bit more flattering, aren't they? Yeah, Lisa's also saying lovely did the love them want one. Yep, they will. And Kevin say Paul is too sexy for the sweatshirt. Ah, and they're loving your catwalk look. Yeah, right, said Fred, says Barbara.
Yeah.
And Rosemary's here. She's finally made it. Lovely to see you here. And Rob, the biggest vlogger and blogger in Guernsey, is with us, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
Evening, guys. Hope you're doing well. We are. Thank you. Merch looks great. Currently on cruise countdown. 5 days to go. Oh, what have you got booked next? Robert does a lot of P&O. So are you sticking with P&O or are you branching out? I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I bet Rob knows.
I'm sure he does if he's going on a cruise in 5 days. Haley Brothers just asking, my husband and I sat here debating where you are in your house. I'm saying a man cave basement, and my husband's vote is dining room. Are either of us right?
No.
No. It's our little lounge.
Yeah, our house isn't big enough to have a man cave basement or a dining room.
So we're sat in our sort of lounge dining room.
This is the living room.
Yes.
But we have got a dining table
which
in
we're
the
actually
corner.
got.
So dining room is the closest of the wrong answers. And do you honestly think I'd be allowed to have a man cave?
If we had enough rooms, we've only got a little house. We've only got a little house because we spend all our money on cruising. But that was always, that was always our, when we met and when we bought a house, it was always going to be small because we wanted any spare cash to enable us to travel. So if we win the lottery, we'll move, but otherwise I don't think we will we, Paulie? Because we're quite happy. Dean saying, what ship are you thinking of going to Asia next year? We're actually doing a land-based holiday in Asia next year, but the following year we are, well, we don't want to tell people yet, do we?
No.
Because it's we've literally just told our patrons and YouTube members, so that information, sorry, Dean, will be coming out later on.
Oh, she's making you hang on.
No, I know, but
yeah, I know. There's got to be some benefits of.
Yeah, if I tell everyone that now, then it's that's not fair. So Henna is asking from the southern suburbs of Chicago, digging the shirts and the mugs. So lovely to see you here. And Franco's here. Hello, new viewer. We're doing the Q&A short break this weekend, Southampton to Hamburg. Is there anything that is a must-see or experience on the ship?
Oh,
yes, lots.
Well, the must-see thing in Hamburg is the Hofbrau Brew House, whatever it's called.
You want to know on the ship?
Yeah, but I'm telling him I'm doing my bit first.
There is a great bar. If you're going there on a Sunday, there's the Brauhaus. München Brauhaus.
I know that sounds daft because München means Munich, but it's in Hamburg and it's fabulous. Yeah. And especially on a Sunday, you go in there, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
But on the ship, over to you.
So much on the Queen Mary too. She's got an awesome, and people don't always find it, right at the front of the ship. You'll find an observation deck, which is just, is it above the bridge or just below? It's above, I believe, isn't it? It's right at the front, but just go to the A stairway and go straight up to the top and you'll find it, because you'll come to the lookout, which takes you right by the funnel. There's a big observation area right by the funnel, and you'll find an observation area right, so you've got the same view as the bridge, and it's literally the same shape as the bridge, and it's fabulous. Make sure you do the promenade and go right around the front to see the Commodore's cufflinks, which are the spare propeller blades. Make sure you go in the glass lift that comes down from the observation deck.
Like the Willy Wonka lift, we call it. And Queen's Room's an absolute must.
Yeah.
And what the Queen Mary 2 also has is the best nightclub.
Yes.
On the 7 Seas. Is there 7 Seas? There's more than that now, and then there's hundreds.
I don't know. QM2 has got a great nightclub called
G32.
And it has a live music in there, alternates between live music and the disco. It's over 2 floors and it's fabulous. A great atmosphere, service amazing. Queen's Room to watch. If you love live music and watch people dance, Queen's Room's the place to be. The pub's great, Golden Lion. Make sure you get some lunch. But if you want to get in the pub for quizzes or lunch, make sure you get there early because it's a really popular venue. So is the Chart Room. Chart Room's a really popular venue if you like jazz. We found that sitting in Sir Samuel's, which is a space now that used to be where all the chocolate was a great spot because you could hear the jazz, which we really enjoyed, didn't we, this time? We're not big jazz fans, but for some reason, it really we really enjoyed that, didn't we, coming out of the Chart Room? So much to enjoy. And and you're bound to get lost trying to get to the Queen's room, just make sure you go down to through the art gallery. Just see the art gallery on the map. You're given a lovely little paper map, and you'll find your way. Because that was our biggest frustration when we first went on QM2, wasn't it? Getting lost. Tom and Dom are here. Sorry, we're like
Tom, that must be so confusing. Tom, what am I talking to myself again?
Oh. And Claire says the clubhouse. That's it. That's the lounge at the back of Iona.
Yes. Yeah.
The clubhouse is a great, but again, it gets really busy, so you've got to get there early.
It's a fabulous venue because when I was on there last, I think it was Six Nations Rugby they had on. And they had it on
they did. There's loads of TVs
on a big screen.
Yeah.
They also have a band on in there, and they also have guest entertainers.
They do. It's a great venue, and it goes out to the lovely little sitting area, doesn't it? The aft. If the weather's good, it's lovely. Ken says, Carole, Dan said he was only on the phone with you for an hour and a half, not as long as normal.
But they did send each other 700 WhatsApps.
Well, Coast to Coast is here. So lovely to see you. So thanks for popping by. And Andy and Christine saying, yeah, Clubhouse at the back of Iona, agree Skydome's the worst for acoustics. Been on Iona 3 times and we love it. It's a great ship. We want to get on Arvia. We really like P&O. I know we've said we felt the service was very bland on Iona, which it was, but the service was good. It just didn't have the sort of smiles and laughs that we like. So we'll definitely be doing more P&O because they do some fantastic offers, don't they?
They do. Anne's in.
Oh, Anne's in sunny Marbella. Yes, she made it. She's on a girly holiday.
She's in Marbs.
She's in Marbs. Yeah, so have fun with the girls. So Bridget said you're looking very posh. Oh.
Well, thank you, Bridget.
So let's have a look. Garth's asking what's our next cruise. Our next cruise isn't until the end of November, where we're back on Azamara. On Azamara onward, on our replacement cruise for the issues we had before, and we're off to the Caribbean. And Alfie's saying, yeah, Jackie's gluten-free, not vegetarian.
See that I bigged Alfie and Jackie up saying, "Oh, they'll sort you out with your vegetarian." Yes. That's how much I pay attention, Alfie. I do apologise. But I'm usually drunk on a cruise, so that's why I can remember.
I think it's good to show that obviously they catered for Jackie really well, because I remember we all sat for dinner and she was saying how fabulous it had been.
Yeah, I should have guessed that she wasn't a vegetarian because I'm sure she had a steak one night. So
I don't know. So Sarah, I've got to say, I don't know about as smart for the quiz as you were. I remember.
I remember you answered a question about computers, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a computer. What does bit mean, or what does summit mean? And you knew what it was, and I didn't have a clue.
Vicky said, "Hi from Ayrshire. Been watching Apple event. Saw a tad late." Oh. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure. Don't know that's the apples that you eat or the apple that makes the Mac.
Phones, I don't know.
Will's here. Lovely to see you, Will. Sorry, late. Good evening, all. And let's see. Cruising Gaze, getting ready for a cruise as well. Packing for our wedding cruise. Oh, exciting.
There's a man saying hello from Denmark.
From Denmark? Do you mean Denmark? I guess. So let's have a look. So we're off on Norwegian getaway in the Haven next month for our first time. Have you done NCR before? And if so, any top tips? We haven't. We nearly got on NCR just pre-pandemic on Norwegian Bliss, and it was cancelled, obviously. So let us know, because that'll be very, very interesting. So if anyone's got any Haven tips in the comments, then do let Sarah know, because the Haven looks fantastic. So it'll be interesting to see what you think. Let's have a look. Claire says it's chucking it down. And Costco said best passes are from Plymouth. Are they?
Controversial.
Yeah.
Controversial.
So let's everything making me. Yeah, and Coast to Coast, we were saying about that, Josh, that they used to use half savoury and half dessert. So that's right. Yeah, proper pastas, none of this puff pastry stuff they all do these days. And Sweet Nature's here. So lovely to see you guys. Can't wait to think of a cruise that does great pastas. Do you know, actually, on Morella Voyager, they were pies more than pastas, weren't they? They did fabulous pies, didn't they, at the kitchens?
I had a pasty on the Queen Mary too.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
From the buffet?
But they were smaller pastas.
Yeah, they were little ones.
So I had to have 5 of them.
And Bridget's saying, life is short, eat dessert first. Ken saying he's received your message. So did you just send it again?
No.
Oh.
No. But I'll send you my number as well, Ken. Yeah,
the football started today, so ta-ta for now. No worries. Jack's asking how was the wedding that we went to. It was fabulous, Jack. We are really good close friends, got married in Foy at a fabulous hotel called the Harbour Hotel with views over the River Foy and out to sea. And as the ceremony finished, the Spirit of Adventure just sailed past. Paulie's put a new short on, so check that out on our YouTube channel. But it was fabulous. It was just weddings, it was just full of joy and love, and there were so many people that we knew there, really good friends and people that we've known for years, and we just laughed, didn't we? It was magical. So thank you for asking.
And I think it's different because it's a long usually when you go to a wedding, it's the people who are 25, 30 or whatever, but the people that got married are the same age as us, and it was like almost like a proper love story because they met a long time ago,
and their paths just didn't quite meet.
But it didn't quite mesh together.
Yeah,
and then years and years and years later,
they did.
They got together.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Bloody lovely.
But sadly, the photographer didn't. He was double booked, so he didn't turn up. So Deb, my friend, was saying, "Oh, can everyone just take some pictures?" And thankfully, Paulie took his big pole and his 360. So we set it up and we attached it to one of the radiators in the ceremony room. So now we're trying to, as well as getting all our YouTube videos out, we're now trying to put a wedding video together. So we're all behind as usual with our stuff.
So we are available for wedding videos as long as there's a radiator.
We're really pleased with what we put together so far, aren't we? So fingers crossed that Deb and Steve will like it. So Tina's favourite word is higgledy-piggledy. Yes, that's a good word.
Carole uses that all the time.
And Claire's saying palaver. I work in the government, so it's a daily occurrence. Palaver. Yeah, that's a really
one
good.
Of my favourite words is tallywhacker.
Tallywhacker.
Or discombobulate.
Oh,
nobody's going to beat discombobulate, are they?
So Vicky's saying two twa flembirds and ananganangana. That's it. I'm from Dundee with the bridie as well. Almost it's so far. That's what Evelyn used to say when flembirds and an aganana. So what it's that I always thought that she was trying to say onion and aganagana. So do let us know what's actually in it.
I thought it was something to do with onion.
Maybe.
I used to go, we got friends in Edinburgh, and sadly this guy passed away a few years ago, but whenever we went up to Edinburgh to visit, he was a massive Dundee fan. And so Carole would always hang out with Marie.
Yeah.
And they would have they say they were going shopping, but they'd always end up in a pub. And me and Alan would go and watch Dundee play, and it was fabulous memories.
Yeah, exactly that. So Barbara's saying at the moment, 226 watching and only 132 likes. Come on, people. Get those thumbs up.
Give us likes. Give us likes.
Favourite word, Chelsea, is Guadalajara.
Well, she can say it now.
It's located in the state of Jalisco. And it's pronounced Jalisco. Happy to see you today. Thank you for that, Cheryl. And you thought I wasn't going to get it.
Yeah, and the J, because the J sounds like a H, doesn't it?
Vicky saying bridies are mostly beef and onion, although, to be honest, I'm not a fan. Yes, Sarah's saying, make sure you do the Time Out Market Lisbon. The pastel de nata. That's it. That's the little custard tarts.
Is it?
Everyone. No, everyone's saying it. Everyone's saying it.
Yes.
Everyone's saying it.
And I just had a moment of clarity when I was talking about going to watch Dundee play. Whenever I go to a football match with Alan, he said, "Oh, you have to have a Scotch pie
in a bun."
No, it's a Scotch pie, and it's a round pie, not flaky pastry, like almost similar to a pasty type pastry, short crust, I'm going to say, but in the top was a hole, and you could see the meat down inside it. But when you bit into it, all the grease would come out the top. But I'll tell you what, if you were hungover, you had one of them pies that would sort anything.
But think of your arteries, isn't it?
Yeah, I was younger then.
Warren saying cherry liquor, also very good in Lisbon. Oh, So let's see. So Jonathan's just saying, just back from a fab trip to Norway on the Ino in my first cruise. Are you planning a trip in the new PO ship Arvia? We'd like to, Jonathan. We haven't got anything planned yet, but we would like to. She just got some nice itineraries in the Caribbean on the winter, doesn't she?
Oh,
so and at a very good price.
Those tarts, I think they're called pasta donata.
Yes, they are, Paulie. As everyone, there's about 20 people telling us that.
I can't read
Can
that.
you
over
read
there.
it?
No, I can't see that.
And Tony's saying, anyway, surely the real taste of the West Country is lardy cake. You like a lardy cake, don't you, Paulie?
Well, it's interesting because we both come from the Forest of Dean, and we call them lardy cakes.
Yeah.
But in Gloucester, which is where we live now, and we've lived here for a long time, they're called drippers.
Yeah.
And sometimes there'll be a raging debate on Facebook because somebody put on there, "Oh, where'd you get the best dripper from?" Now, before I worked in Gloucester for in the 80s before I moved to Gloucester in the 90s, and there was this one guy that if you worked overtime on a Saturday morning, he would go to this bakery on the way to work. And he'd have like a shipping order. It'd be like, there'd be like 40 blokes working. And it was like, I want 2 sausage rolls, and then I want this, that, and the other. And the first time I worked on a Saturday morning, they said, "Oh, Mac's taking the orders for the, what to bring in for Saturday morning." And this guy said, "Oh yeah, I'll have a sausage roll and I'll have a dripper." And I'm like, "You gonna do a what, a hooey?" And he said, "A sausage roll and a dripper." What's a dripper? Oh, he said, "They're fabulous. You ought to have one." I said, "Oh, go on, then I'll have the same as him. Sausage roll and a dripper." I have no clue what I was going to get. And then what this lady used to run the tea room, he would bring them in and they'd be still hot from the bakery. And she would just keep them warm in this, she had this giant oven, and she would just keep them warm, ready for your break time. And of course, it was like, "There you go. Then there's your sausage roll." And I said, "Well, it's a lardy cake."
Yeah.
And they looked at me. I'll tell you what, I thought I was going to get drummed out of there. That's a dripper.
Sweet Nature's gone back saying that they bought a bottle of the cherry liqueur from Lisbon last time they were there and loved it. Robert's on Arvia. So, yes, sailing Arvia 40 nights around the Med. 3 new ports for me, even though I technically last went to Morocco when I was about 6.
Well,
yeah, I will have a fab time. Yeah, Arvia looks fabulous. So, Sarah's just saying on QM2, make sure you visit the back of the ship around by the planetarium. You'll find a load of photos and memorabilia with the history of the big stars and their travels on QNOD on all the walls. Yeah, you don't see it. You have to really find it, don't you? And there's so many big stars that have sailed with Cunard, and it just tells the story and all the pictures. Well, as Sarah's just described.
Because when we do our live,
it's the front. Yes, Sarah said it's the front of the ship. So, we went down there to do our live, didn't we? But it was in the sort of the conference rooms there. Also, Karen is hi from rainy Gloucestershire, board in Arvia for 2 weeks in the Med on Sunday. So you may well be on board with Robert then. Did you say for around the Med? So, yes. Yeah, Rosemary saying that Arvia is great and the staff are great and friendly. So that's great to hear. Yeah, and Kathy's saying about the Queen's Rooms after and the back of the Britannia Regiment.
We walked through
and through the Clarendon Galleries, Carole said.
I know art is subjective, but we walked, obviously, we went to the Queen's Room most nights, and you have to go through the art gallery. I have never seen so much piffle in all my life.
We're not
I know I said an art
subject.
I know,
do we?
Yeah, but this was an art, mate. This is all this Brit pop art stuff.
Well, it's very popular.
There was a picture, and it was basically, like the lips that they used to, it was on like a Rolling Stones record back in the day, like these big red lips. And a friend of mine who I raced with, for years he had these lips on the front of his car. He may still have them on the front of his car. And there was just this picture of these lips, which is obviously done to death years ago by the Rolling Stones, and it was about £7,000, and it looked like a child drew it with crayons. And I'm thinking, well, I'm missing something here.
We didn't appreciate it, but there was a bloke negotiating £13,000. We didn't want to leave because we thought, oh my God, we want to listen.
We thought, obviously,
but some people love art, don't they? We just don't appreciate it.
We thought that bloke's good for a tuck up, wasn't he? He's going to spend £13,000 on that rubbish.
So Jason's on Iona, make sure you go to the 710 Club. Yes, that's another good tip, but make sure you book it early.
Yeah.
We loved it. We loved it too. Great, talented musicians in there. And Peter's asking, hi Peter, from Australia.
Oh,
Question:
mate.
Have you ever done a?
You did a good Wolverhampton earlier.
But
That your Australian accent is still dreadful.
Okay. Have you ever done a Christmas cruise? I'm doing Queen Elizabeth this year. Looking forward to it. We have. We did it on Azamara, and it was lovely seeing the ship actually. What's the matter? And I loved seeing the ship. I got a little bit homesick, to be honest. Paul didn't, did you? You were
No.
fine. But we've done the Queen Elizabeth pre-Christmas and December cruise, and the ship is beautiful. So, like we said, it's got 35 Christmas trees that we counted, wasn't it? And they have all the old, what do you call them, soldier men? What are they called? The Christmas men.
Nutcrackers?
The nutcrackers. They have really big ones everywhere. Yeah. So
some of them are real.
No, the best cider is Scrumpy. Oh, 9%. Oh my God. There used to be a pub in Gloucester called the County Arms, wasn't it? Just over the railway track. And they used to serve that. And oh my God. And the Pelican used to years ago, didn't it? With bits of wood in.
We call that something varnish. And it's a slang name for a wooden outhouse where you go to toilet.
Yes.
And it's called something varnish.
I know.
Once you've had a couple of pints of that, you lose control of your bottom.
Polly. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What a word. It is, Barbara. That's an awesome word. Oh, Jerry saying, any plans for t-shirts with aft on the back? We did think about that, didn't we?
What, Jerry?
We did. We have had that discussion.
We're open to all discussions.
Yes, we are. But
suggestions,
that's
good and bad, but that's good.
And Paul saying his favourite word is
flibberty-gibbet.
Yes. And Bridget saying nitsy boo boo. And Andy and Christine said tallywhacker. That's my favourite word too. Christine can believe you just said that. Paul, as you'd never heard of it until I started saying it a few weeks ago. Great minds think alike and all that. So let's see if we've got any more questions, because I'm aware times are ticking. Oh, Mark's here. Lovely to see you, Mark. We'll watch the replay. Come along pretty late, no worries. Oh, and Sarah said she hasn't had a largy cake for years. And
Jerry's also said his favourite word is...
Yes, we're really, really excited about that, Mark. So what's that, sorry?
Jerry, appertaining.
Appertaining.
Yeah,
that's a nice word. That sounds really posh, doesn't it?
That's a posh, officey word.
Appertaining.
I don't know what it means, but...
No. Ken says loves a lardy or maybe a manship.
Oh.
What's a manship?
I don't know what a manship is, Ken. Maybe bring one along on Saturday.
Andy and Chrissy said my dad used to call lardies dripping cake. Yeah. So Kate and Dave are on Arvia Sunday too. So lots of people.
Oh, there's loads on there.
Amanda's saying favourite word. That's the Land Fairfield, Gwyn drop brilliant. Gog. There we are. Off you go.
Hey, it's taking you 6 months to say Corinne.
Can you say it?
No. I'll tell you.
Try it then.
I'll tell you can say it without even having it written. Is Bob from Innocents Abroad?
Bob and Holly. He can. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, Kathy's saying, I agree with you about the quality of art and the Clarendon Piano is an art major. And Sarah saying, it's very subjective person, but we've seen better art than rubbish than I saw in the gallery. Yeah. Ooh, skullduggery. That's a good word.
I like skullduggery, yeah. I do.
Susan's asking, we went on Arcadia 18 years ago and booked again to the fjords in May next year. I've heard it's very tired looking. Have you been on Arcadia? We haven't, but I know Ken goes cruising and there's quite a few, and Robert, they're big P&O buffs in the comments that are in the chat. So I wonder if they can let you know. So
we've been to Arcadia at Glastonbury, but we haven't been to Arcadia the ship.
And the 6th Street Diner on Arvia was brilliant. The Flatiron Chicken was gorgeous, and the staff were great and danced, and we're all singing. So I think what my take of that, and Robert might be able to tell us, is on Arvia, this is a take of sort of like Johnny Rockets type venue on Arvia.
Oh, is it?
Well, that's what I seem to think. Let me know if I'm right or not. And Hayley both said maybe you could get shorts on your merchandise with the aft on the rear. Oh dear. So Corinne's saying favourite place name, and she's saying Crianlarich, and you'll still say it wrong. So probably Oh dear. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see if there's any more questions because we're well over time. It just means what's going on, Jerry's saying. What's appertaining? So instead of saying, all right, mate, what's going on? Say, hey, what's appertaining?
So then going, oh, what's appertaining?
No, oh, what's occurring? Anyway, it's gone over time, which is fine because we don't mind going over time because it's lovely to chat with all you guys. But thank you so much for joining us for our live. We'll let
just
you know.
Remember, I've taken all your names, and if we haven't got 232 likes,
yes, make sure you hit that thumbs up. As soon as you come out of it, go and put a lovely comment down below, because to help us grow our channel, you just need to engage with it. So when this is finished, if you could just go and put a comment, say thanks for your live or great live, then that'll be great too. There's lots more comments popping up. Bridget saying Mum used to make nuns farts. Pastry pinwheels covered in nuns farts. I never heard of that. Pastry pinwheels covered in covered in caramel sauce. Oh my gosh.
Well, you've had a duck fart, but never a nun's fart.
No, I haven't. I've had a duck fart, but never a nun's fart. And John is saying we went on Arcade about 4 years ago. Our sea view was pretty large over Ruster in the port frame and a bit of hairy growth in the shower. Oh dear. Hopefully it's had a bit of a refurb.
We're gonna have to.
No,
we can't leave it on that.
Let's finish with Barbara. It's been a great time. Hope you both have a great night. And you and everyone else that's joined. Thanks for a fun hour again. And we will catch up with you next week. So thanks so much.
Yes,
Anything else to add, Pauline?
We don't know where.
I'm gonna have a look at our diary, see what we're up to next.
But I know we'll do a live again next week.
Anyway, we're off. So take care, everyone. Have a fabulous week. And we'll speak to you soon. Yeah.